what is more intimate is to hear from people who live in Vastu themselves. And so with that, we will first hear from Cesar. Cesar, please do join us now. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Thanks for inviting me. I have to say that I have had a great opportunity to enjoy the benefits of living in my home.
Lovely. Can you tell us anything that may come to mind regarding what it feels like living in your home compared to your previous non-Vastu home?
I'd like to tell you why I decided to build a Vastu home.
Okay.
And the reason is that it relies on my initial experience with Maharishi Mahesh Yogi's teaching at the age of 18. When I learned transcendental meditation, I had a very wonderful experience, which translated to a significant evolution in my intellect, which permitted me then to go from being an okay student to an outstanding student, which permitted me to then get an Ivy League education and get a medical degree and practice medicine, which has permitted me then to sort of live the wonderful life I have lived practicing the profession that I was born to practice. So having that very strong understanding of this information, this knowledge, I thought when I heard Maharishi talk that, he wanted people to do two things. He wanted people to practice either transcendental meditation twice a day or the TMCD program in groups and live in Vastu. So then I just decided, well, that's the instruction. I will live in Vastu. And I actually went on and for some time looked for land, found a 20-acre piece of land. And the moment that I walked into the property, I made an offer. I then purchased and closed escrow, went through a series of different designs, and built a home that you have seen in the photos. I never had stayed in the home while it was being constructed. So following the inauguration of the Vastu, which is a beautiful experience where you celebrate the home and the knowledge that actually leads to the creation of this home. As I was walking through the gate of the Vastu, I felt like a pop, and I realized the difference between being in the Vastu and outside of the Vastu. It was actually a very, very obvious experience to me. And that obvious experience continues to be present. When I am in the experience of living there is joyful. And for myself and my guest, it's very, very joyful to be there. And my daughters have their best sleep there. I can continue going on, but it has actually been a great source of satisfaction for me. It's said to be a fortune-creating home, and that is actually very, very extensive. But I have to tell you that when I start furnishing the home, I would order and pay for one item from Pottery Barn, and many times I would have to receive two items for the same thing for the price of one, which then would necessitate me to send the other one back. One of my beautiful carpets that I have in my home actually is free because they sent me the wrong carpet. I put it up and then I realized it was the wrong carpet. I called the shipper, said, keep that one, we'll send you the right one. So, it was actually, this being my experience over and over again that, good things happen when you're there.
Let me ask you one more question, which is, have you had house guests? Of course, your daughters. Any others? What do people tend to notice when they visit your house? What do they mention to you?
Well, I have had many people comment on it, including even the UPS driver who helped me bring in the refrigerator into the home. And there are a couple of common comments. It's the silence. My meditation hall is just this, you know, I have, you know, it's a beautiful experience to be there. But the light, and you know, it's a happy place. There is absolutely no better kitchen.
Yes.
Well, if you like to eat. So, you know, music, just beauty, taste, smell, is, you know, we love to cook at our home. You know, I just want to point, you know, make just one point that I didn't when it was my turn to talk. Building Vastu gives you an opportunity to build your exoskeleton. So we're all born with an endoskeleton, but we actually have an opportunity to build that shell around us, that actually, if we do it right, then it becomes a perfect skeleton. And that's the way I see my Vastu and Vastu in general, is the opportunity to build a perfect exoskeleton. I actually would recommend anyone, I would recommend that they should try it. And it actually, for me, it worked, you know, beautifully. Like every part of it, as I incorporate this Vedic knowledge, it actually just works. It's just the way it goes.
Sweet. Beautiful.
A
Beautiful.
medical analogy.
How appropriate.